So call a meeting of the Middletown Police Commission to order. And we have present myself, Commissioner Mills, Commissioner Sullivan, Chief Awanchu. Absent are Commissioners Rodriguez and Commissioner Cantoli. So we'll turn it over to you, Chief.
Good afternoon, Mayor and Commissioners. This evening, in addition to our normal course of business and discussions, I would request that we could go into executive session at the end to discuss personnel matters. Let's start off. How's everyone?
Terrific.
Some communication since the last time we met. I apologize. June, the meeting ended up being on the same date of the Juneteenth celebration that the city was partners with, so we did forego that meeting. So I do have some stuff from would have been the June meeting and the July meeting. So some communications that went out since the last time that we met. May 30th, the department did SLA checks. Sergeant Welch and Sergeant Regino conducted the State Liquor Authority checks, utilizing our staff, our neighborhood enhancement unit, as well as Detective Artola. Visited 31 locations within the city, which included gas stations, grocery stores, delis, commercial establishments, and I'm actually happy to say out of those 31, only 2 violations. So it shows that our businesses are trying to do the right thing. The 2 that were non-compliant were charged accordingly. Then on June 6th, under the guidance of Sergeant Gallagher, he put together a team. We used some data that comes from our school bus safety program that's school district utilizes. Found some hotspot areas where school buses were being passed on a regular basis by cars. Put together a detail in which they issued 54 tickets, 4 of which were for directly passing the school buses while they had their red lights on. So they did a great job there. And then on June 19th, Sergeant Welch and Sergeant Regino did another detail, this time focused on cannabis, vapes, tobacco products. Visited 25 locations within the city and found 4 locations that were non-compliant. So again, we had a good portion that were in compliance. The 4 that were not were dealt with and charged accordingly. So I just want to recognize that good work. We put that out for the public as well, just to show that we are trying to keep our youth safe and address some of the concerns. Since the last time we met also, just recently we received a decision from the New York State Supreme Court in regards to an Article 78 petition that was filed against the police department by former police officer Jonathan McHugh in regards to his decertification. I'm happy to say that the judge found that our decision to decertify him was correct, and he found in our favor there. It does state in the decision, though, that Mr. McHugh does have the right to appeal that, and there's a short window of time that will be on his terms if he wants to do that, or on his will if he would like to do that. And basically the judge found that McHugh's resignation connected with his plea bargain on criminal activity related to his actions as a police officer was clearly a removal for cause, as it was in connection with the allegations of misconduct, which includes criminal activity, whether or not criminally charged or prosecuted. The judge also agreed with the additional argument in support of the removal for cause that at the time of his resignation, the disciplinary charges were not only still pending, but were scheduled to be heard. So I think the decision was right in line with what we anticipated. I did forward the commission the minutes from our last meeting, which would have been May. The commission would like to discuss them at all. If not, if I could have a motion to accept. I have a motion by Commissioner Mills, second by Commissioner Sullivan. The motion on the floor is to accept the May minutes as written. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Statistics from May. During the month of May, the department handled 3,049 calls for service, which was a 20% increase in call volume from the previous month, in which we handled 2,545 calls. During the same time frame, Part 1 crimes, we investigated 27 Part 1 crimes, none of which were violent that month. All were property crimes. 27 of them were property crimes. And that was a 27% decrease from the previous month, in which we had 37. Part 2 crimes for the month of May, we investigated 118, which is a 4% increase from the previous month of 113. Arrests for the month of May, 228 arrests were made, which was a 4% increase over the previous month of 220. Traffic tickets for the month of May, 490, in comparison to 238 in the previous month, which equates to a 106% increase. Parking tickets for the month of May, 337, which was a 27% decrease over 455 in April. Uses of force for the month of May, we had 5 incidents that resulted in uses of force, which equates to 2.2% of the total arrests for that month. In the month of May, there was 3 reports of shots fired throughout the city. All 3 were unfounded. One was May 20th on Jamal Drive, ended up being fireworks. May 21st, Dolson Avenue, ended up being a car backfiring. May 22nd on Mills Street, and we couldn't find the source of that noise. June statistics. In June, the department handled 2,914 calls for service, which was a 4% decrease over the previous month. Part 1 crimes, we saw a slight increase. We handled 31 in comparison to the 27 the previous month, which was a 15% increase. Part 2 crimes for the month, 138 were investigated, a 17% increase over the 118 in the previous month. In June, the department made 240 arrests, which was a 5% increase in comparison to 228 in the previous month. Traffic tickets, 389 were issued, which was a decrease of 21% in comparison to 490 in May. Parking tickets, we also saw a decrease, issued were 286 in comparison to 334. Through the month of June, there were 3 incidents that resulted in some type of use of force, which equates to 1.2% of total arrests. And in June, we also had 3 reports of shots fired. All were unfounded. June 3rd on Watkins Avenue ended up being an emotionally disturbed person that was making up stories that were not accurate. June 5th on Manhagan Avenue, it was called in as a dispute in which someone alleged that a weapon was displayed. Through investigation, it was determined that it wasn't, and then the caller actually admitted that nothing had happened. On June 9th, Concord Lane, and the caller reported hearing something far off in the distance, and we weren't able to determine anything with that. Would the commission like to discuss the statistics at all? So far, year to date, we're seeing some significant decreases, and I don't even really like saying that because we have a lot of summer left to go and a lot of time left. But I will say the police officers are working, which is great. They're out there, they're being proactive, they're engaging people, and doing a good job. Fireworks calls. So always this time of year, we deal with our fireworks. I'm happy to say that this year we saw a decrease in the number of calls. So what we track is July 1st through July 5th. This year, during that time period of July 1 through 5, we handled 58 calls for service for fireworks. And that's not just people calling in, that's our officers on details driving around. If they see it or hear it, they also blotter that as a call. So last year in that same time frame, there's 84, and the previous year in the same time frame was 81. So we did see a pretty good drop this year. I don't know why. Well, I'll take it. I will say I worked along with Lieutenant Dolan that evening. We had 20 police officers on, and wherever we went to a call, there was always 2 police cars there. It was great to see the officers being proactive and being out there addressing it. So kudos to them for being attentive and addressing that as well. Hopefully we continue to see that decline. I'm hoping that some of the fines over the previous years were part of that equation to reduce that. Alex has been doing good, looking $250, $500, $700 fines. So hopefully that's helped along. Commissioner, how are you?
That's all right.
So I should go away? Go on vacation?
Might be a good idea.
How are you, sir? We just went over monthly statistics, some communications and statistics from the last 2 months. If you would like, I could go back over them. Okay. Okay. Any questions, concerns? Thank you, sir. Moving forward, our current staffing. Currently, as we sit today, I have 6 vacancies, soon to be 7. We are budgeted for 75. Currently, right now, we have 69. The 7th vacancy to come up is Officer Mike Ribeiro is planning on retiring the end of August after 20 years of service with the department. He's been an SRO for the last several years in Presidential Park. He is been on vacation. He's due back to help with some of our summer programs, and then he'll use up some of his other vacation time and do his last day. I think it's the 28th of August, if I'm not mistaken, 28th, 29th, whatever that Friday is. Once we get that all situated, and if walkout scheduled, I will make sure that the commission knows when that is. Since the last time we met, police officers Jeffrey Rivera and Joel Diaz have completed their field training, and they're on their own. So I'm happy, they're ecstatic to be on their own. So they've completed their police academy training, now their field training, and they're out there on their own. Out of the 69 personnel I have one on maternity leave, or maternity duty. She's still with us, but because of the stage of her pregnancy, she's helping us out with dispatching and doing some internal stuff. I have one that was just deployed to National Guard duty, and I still have one that is out on extended leave due to an illness. Happy to say that I was just notified 2 days ago, and it's official as of yesterday evening, that our police exam that was given in May, the results came back, which was much earlier than we ever anticipated. They are certified. The Civil Service Commission did certify them yesterday. So we have 223 eligible candidates off of the two lists. So we have the bilingual exam and then the non-bilingual exam. So there's 20 eligible candidates on the bilingual list and 203 on the non-bilingual exam. So we've already worked it out with Civil Service. They're sending out letters to all of the people that passed. It's broken up in grade group. And then we'll assist Civil Service with an agility exam on August 16th for our first groups of eligible candidates. And the hopes are to have some candidates that we could get into the next police academy, which starts on October 14th. So if everything goes well, I'd like to bring some potential police officer candidates before the commission in the September meeting, which I will obviously communicate with all of you and put their backgrounds into our shared Google Drive so you could review them prior to. Myself and the Lieutenant Bureau Commanders actually did interviews for dispatcher positions. We still have one vacant position. We're doing a background now on a potential candidate to fill that void. And if everything goes good, I think she would be a good fit, local person. She's interviewed before, and she's still consistent that she wants the job, so we think she'll be an asset to the organization. Any thoughts, discussions, questions in regards to staffing?
I have one question on the test. How many are 90 and above?
I brought them with me. So on the nope, this is the bilingual one I have. So the bilingual, there are no 95s or 100. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 90s and 3 85s. On the traditional exam, I have 4 95s. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 17 90s.
Nice.
So what the plan is, in my discussions with Civil Service, for the traditional exam, we're going to invite the 95s and 90s to the agility. And the bilingual, we're going to do the 90s and 85s. So we should have about 28 people that attend, or that are invited to the agility. Very surprised that it came back that quick. Any other questions, thoughts, concern, discussion? Okay. Since our last meeting, the training that the department's been through for May and June, it's quite a bit actually. I'll read through it pretty quickly. Supervisors Leadership Institute, Command Leadership Institute, Executive Leadership Institute, search warrant and executions of search warrants, working narcotic officer survival with red flags, interview interrogation for narcotics officer, area command leadership course, drone in-service training, DRE, which is Drug Recognition Expert. Just real quick on that, I was speaking to Commissioner Sullivan earlier. Our DRE, our Drug Recognition Expert, who's trained, is Officer Harlan, Michael Harlan. Really embraces it, does a great job. He just had a trial yesterday, a jury trial on a DWI case where he did his assessment and determined, based on his training and experience, what drugs the person was under. He just won the jury trial, got the results today, so a great job to him. I know that was a little stressful for him, so very good. Cultural diversity, sexual harassment instructor, ethics and professionalism instructor, incident command systems instructor. We ran through our quarterly range in June. Child abduction, rapid deployment course, advanced undercover operator, reality-based training instructor, our niche supervisor training, which is our records management system, National Conference on Police Social Work, elder abuse instructor, sexual assault trauma investigations, CAC professional bite training, which is our child advocacy program. It's a program that runs out of Goshen, and then oral fluid specimen kit training. The oral fluid specimen kit training is actually new technology that was just released to municipal policing organizations to help us identify and hold people accountable that are driving under the influence of marijuana and other drugs. So this is the first piece of technology that we have to help us combat that issue. So that was just rolled out. Any questions, discussion on training? Some of the new programs that we're looking going forward is not the last council meeting, the council meeting before, we did a presentation. It was actually a public safety meeting. Came across this traffic software that monitors traffic throughout the city. It could give me speeds and traffic volumes on pretty much any street. All AI type generated off of satellite signals. It never connects a name, a person, identity of a car, anything like that. Really neat technology, but it'll give us the ability to better address traffic concerns by times of day, locations, and deploy our resources directly to a specific location, time, rather than a generalized area. So we're looking to implement that. We just got the funding for that. And then be purchasing stop sticks, which are tire deflation devices to help prevent cars from fleeing from us or stop cars from fleeing. So what we've been doing previously is we would call upon our neighboring departments, such as the state police, if we're trying to stop a vehicle, and they deploy them for us. We want to train up our own folks so that we have those resources and don't have to wait upon someone else to come in. And then the smaller portions of that, if we have a high-risk stop, as a measure to prevent that vehicle from fleeing, there's small little devices that the officer could just randomly throw under the tire. So if they do take off, that it's a very slow takeoff and hopefully keep people safer is our goals. Some of the grants since the last time that we've met, we received a $10,000 JAG Burn grant from Assemblywoman Kay. We're utilizing that funding to replace and repair a broken camera in our downtown area. It was one of our legacy cameras from the early 2000s, so we're going to update that into our current system. A very useful camera that's been out that our supervisors missed, so that'll hopefully be up on back on our system soon. Senator Skoufis provided us a $10,000 grant to use for a National Night Out. So once again, he's come through with funding. This is, I believe, it's the 4th year now. We got some funding for National Night Out from Senator Skoufis, which is great help. And then we were just advised this week that we received the 2026 award for our GIVE funding of $100,000, and that's the Gun Involved Violence Elimination Program, Hotspot Policing. We've been a recipient of this for many, many years. For a few years, a bunch of years actually, it was only $15,000, but for about the last 3 years, we've been at 100, which is very helpful for us. On July 1st, myself and Lieutenant Tholen actually went through a grant audit with the federal government. They sent 2 representatives to audit us randomly. We were selected, which was actually good. We learned a lot. We had 2 auditors spend the day with us, and they audited 2 federal grants that we currently have. One is a tech grant that was used to fund most of the cameras in the downtown, our camera expansion. It was about a $400,000 project. And then we have a $200,000 grant from them also for de-escalation training that we run through the police academy. So we're on par with everything there, no issues. Great gentlemen, talked to us about the programs, went through our records, made sure that everything that we were doing aligned with the grant, make sure our funding was aligned with the grant, make sure we had all the records, so on and so forth. So we're good. We passed. So, but the grant funding's been instrumental in so many ways, from technology to putting extra police officers out on the street, so we definitely appreciate that. Some of our community events, we have National Night Out coming up Tuesday, August 5th, Thrall Park. Great event for us. We'll have a ton of people out there, both police officers and from the community, so we welcome the commission to come out and join us. Community Back to School Barbecue. This will be our 4th year. This is where we do this in collaboration with some of our local business owners and the school district, Parks and Rec, Fire Department gets involved. That's scheduled right now for Saturday, September 6th at Davidge Park. We traditionally start at 2 p.m. for that one. And then Junior Police Academies, we have 3 of them running this year. Our first one will start this coming Monday, July 21st, followed by one the week of July 28th, followed by the third one the week of August 18th. They fill up very fast. I know the officers really enjoy them. The students really enjoy them. So we love to continue to do those. Next item on my agenda would be our internal investigations. I did send a whole bunch to the commission. I don't know if you've had time to review them, because I know I inundated you between internal stuff with investigation review and policy updates. So that's up to the commission. There was a lot, 2 months worth, so I apologize. But that's up to the commission if you have had the time to review them. You guys tell me. Any?
There was no question.
Okay. Good?
I'm good, Chief.
Good? Okay, so there were 12 altogether, and for the record, I'll read them in just for record purposes, and then be looking for a vote or discussion. So the following internal investigations were forwarded to the commission for review. First one was dated February 3rd, 2024, case number 242798, and it was an investigation in regards to evidence discrepancy. After review of that, we realized we had to make a change in our policy to prevent that from happening again, and that is in the policy changes that were forwarded to the commission. August 3rd, 2024, case number 2419847, use of force injury sustained by a police officer. After review, no violations of departmental policy. June 13th, 2024, case number 2415340, injury to a police officer. After investigation, no violations of policy. June 16th, 2024, case number 2415535, use of force injury to a defendant. After review, no violations of departmental policy. June 25th, 2024, case number 2416360, a motor vehicle accident secondary to a pursuit. After investigation, no violations of departmental policy. March 14th, 2025, case number 252235, unprofessional conduct with a civilian. After investigation, it was found that the officer was inappropriate and was provided verbal counseling. March 14th, 2025, case number 252236, a use of force injury to an officer. After investigation, no violations of policy. March 26th, 2025, and May 14th, 2025, same officer involved in two separate minor motor vehicle property damage accidents. Based on the circumstances after investigation, was provided verbal counseling, policy review, and will be attending driver training. May 4th, 2025, case number 256611, unprofessional, disrespectful language and conduct, unwarranted use of force, allegations such. After review and investigation, officer was provided with written counseling, policy review, and will be attending training. May 16th, 2025, case number 257621. This is a personnel complaint alleging unfair treatment. After internal investigation, the complaint was found to be unfounded. June 15th, 2025, case number 25-10747, personnel complaint alleging rudeness, discrimination, retaliation, and conspiracy. After investigation, complaint was deemed unfounded. June 19th, 2025, case number 2511119, is a minor property damage motor vehicle accident. Officer was provided verbal counseling. Any discussion, questions, concerns, thoughts? Being none, if I could have a motion to accept these investigation as written. I have a motion by Commissioner Mills. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Cantoli. All in favor?
Aye.
Appreciate it. Moving forward, once again apologize. There's 27 updates to internal policies. Some of them are one word. Some of them are policies being removed and replaced by a more updated policy. Did the commission, would you like to move forward on these, or do you need more time? Okay.
Good.
So again, 27 of them. I'll read them just for record purposes. So there's updates to the following policies that were forwarded to the commission. Policy 307, vehicle pursuits. Policy 311, domestic violence. Policy 333, communications with persons with disabilities. 338, service animals. 347, neighborhood enhancement unit. 350, honor guard. 355, vehicle pursuits. 356, ADA compliance. 410, emergency admissions. 424, bicycle patrol. 432, crisis negotiation team. 433, body worn cameras. 500, traffic. 502, vehicle towing. 503, impaired driving. 600, investigation and prosecution. 602, asset forfeiture. 603, informants. 603, informants procedure. 606, unmanned aerial systems, which is our drones. 704, cash handling, security, and fiscal management, which was a change based on that investigation. 802, crime scene unit. 803, records division. 900, temporary custody of adults, which is arrest. 900, temporary custody of adults procedure. 902, custodial searches. 1000, recruitment and selection. Discussion, thoughts, concerns? I miss anything? Can I have a motion to accept those changes as written?
So moved.
Do I have a second? All in favor?
Aye.
I appreciate it. Believe it or not, that's all I have on my agenda. Unless you have questions, comments, concerns, discussion points.
Need a motion to go into executive session?
Yeah, if there's no further discussion, questions? Commissioner
So moved.
Mills? No? Yeah? No? No? So if I could have a motion to move into executive session to discuss personnel matters. Sullivan, do I have a second? Okay. We'll be moving into executive session at 4:57 PM for the purpose of discussing personnel matters.
Please be advised this ends the public portion of today's meeting. Thank you.